Well, so today we have a very special episode for everybody. Today is the day Ryan learns to ride a bicycle. So we're
I
gonna.
know it's really impressive actually. I tried riding a bike some time back, but I actually ended up falling into a bear cage at the Pittsburgh Zoo, which is actually pretty crazy. I don't know how I survived, but I'll tell you one thing, the honey up my ass certainly didn't help the bears, coming after me. So,
Huh? I
here's a
thought.
PSA. Don't stick honey in your anus.
I didn't. I thought the bear thing was just a stereotype. Guess it's true.
Oh, well, all right then. I guess you're finding out now that that actually happened to me. We'll talk about it later. We'll
I'm
talk about it later.
finally educated on bear issues. Uh,
Yes, this is how all bears attack people.
anyways, so today we're gonna be talking about our top 10 favorite shows, but Ryan doesn't know how to count, so he only has five.
Yeah, I don't watch much TV nowadays. It's mostly YouTube centric, anything I watch. So I could come up with five shows, though, that I've watched over the years that I really enjoy. So
Yeah.
I
I
have
mean,
those.
saying show, we don't necessarily mean that it had to be on the air. It can be Netflix, Prime. Uh,
Yeah, even I don't watch Netflix much, and I don't have Amazon Prime.
yeah.
So sorry, everyone who pays money for that. I don't.
Uh,
Or,
but before,
wait,
I don't know if you want to recap people on stuff that happened whilst we were gone.
all right. So while we were gone, Emilio and I actually tried to meet up for the first time ever in person. It actually went better than expected. Now we didn't end up seeing each other. We'll save that for sometime in the future.
Yeah.
I got caught trying to get on the airplane. They did one of those X-ray scans there at the terminal, and TSA, unfortunately, they caught me trying to smuggle 13 gerbils in my butt. But my animal smuggling ring on the side that I do outside the show. I was about to get like $500 for all this, by the way, too. They paid good money for me in Cuba, but
But I don't live
unfortunately,
in
I couldn't make
Cuba.
going to Cuba. I was gonna visit. Look, man, I was gonna visit you after I got out of Cuba. All right,
Okay.
it was worth the risk. I had to make a side trip. Regardless, though, we didn't end up meeting. So I spent the last few weeks in jail, and I just got out recently for this episode. So
Oh wow.
here we are now.
To be honest, I just fell asleep and I was actually
Oh,
never gonna pick him up from the airport. So
oh,
yeah,
dang
that
it! Wow,
was gonna be funny. Yeah.
man, that would have been an epic prank, man. It's a good thing I didn't end up there. That would have been embarrassing. Much more embarrassing than admitting to smuggling animals in my butt. So,
Anyways,
thank goodness.
to be honest, I don't even know what a gerbil is. But
Picture a hamster, but just different.
okay, a rat. Um,
Sure, yeah, why not?
I'm just gonna put on this through the remainder of the episode to tease what I did this week, and then we can talk about it in the next episode. So it's an incentive for people to come back and for people watch the
You
video.
joined.
I joined the Justice League. It's crazy, guys. Talk about it with you guys next week.
You joined a gay nightclub.
What? That's basically what the Justice League is.
That constantly celebrates Mardi Gras.
I don't know what a Mardi Gras is.
It's Emilio's birthday in Swahili.
Swahili.
That's what it means.
I
That's
just
what
got
it
a
means.
notification. God, it's hot in here.
Oh, how insane. You can even tell, for those of you who are watching this, his camera lens just looked terrible before we started this. It was very unprofessional of him.
And as all as you can tell from one frame a second from Ryan,
No,
his
your
internet
audio was
quality
so
sucks.
bad when we started this. What are you talking about with picture quality? Your audio quality was complete garbage.
I don't know about that because
Mhm.
I can't hear my own audio quality. Anyways,
Everyone will know.
so I
Everyone
guess
knows.
I'll start ranking my shows until I get to number five, and we'll see how it goes from there. A majority of the shows are comedies because I don't really watch dramas because I get kind of bored.
Wow. The lowest form of TV network. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, sure, Ryan. I'm really excited for when Ryan puts Dr. Ross, The Ellen Show, uh,
Dr. Phil, and that's not even one of the shows I watch.
Days of Our Lives.
I got out of the ranch.
So my number 10, we're gonna do this like a Watch Mojo thing, okay?
Oh no, it's good. This whole video is gonna be boring. This podcast is gonna suck.
Uh, Hello everybody and welcome to WatchMojo.com. And this episode is the top 10 shows that the Trash Talk hosts like. The shows are good.
G Fuel.
My shows are. I'm not like. I'm sure that there are some shows that are objectively better. But my list, I basically rank them based on how many times I've watched them and how many times I'd be willing to watch them another time. Also, I didn't count shows that I watched for the first time during the pandemic. So, and recent shows also don't count because they're fresher in my memory, so they would have an unfair advantage over the other.
What? So, what are the shows there, Goldilocks?
One of the shows is the Boss Anime, number 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Too soon, man. Part 2 never came out.
No, my number 10 is Friends by Murda Kaufman. It's
What a surprise.
one of the most iconic sitcoms, and I had to include it on this list. Um,
It's an obligation.
yeah, and it's basically this show is the only reason I can speak English because my parents used to play it when I was but a wee lad, so I learned English basically just watching Friends. So
Oh, okay. So it's because of Friends that you know how to speak English. Then
yeah.
is that the main reason? I'm suing the directors of Friends. You'll be receiving a lawsuit order in the mail after this episode. You have put me through so much agonizing misery.
Thanks to the producers of Friends, I've been able to interrupt Ryan for 4 seasons now.
40 years. I'm only 22.
So that's number 10. It's like a funny show. I know I don't really have to introduce it because a lot of people have already watched it. But I'll talk about it in extent because this show has to be an hour long. Well, basically,
You gotta get those mid rolls in.
yeah, Friends is about a group of adults about to turn 30 in New York. Nothing about this show is realistic. Like, how were they able to live in these huge apartments in New York City, which is one of the world's most expensive cities? Who knows?
You could have said just a group of friends.
It would have been
Like
more
reference to
realistic if they grew up in Rhinesville, Pennsylvania. If the show was set there, man, it would be amazing.
That would have been great. The town would have been nuked right after production was done.
So, Ryan, what's your number 10?
My number 10. Oh, you mean the number 10? I don't. We'll go with my number 5.
Okay.
Like it's mindless.
Number 9.
So
Hold on. We'll get to it. When I say number 5, we go with yours, okay?
all right, fine.
My number 9 is we're taking a bit different here because we're going with a cartoon. We're going with Phineas and Ferb.
Whoa, we didn't expect that one on the list, actually.
Yeah, this list is full of surprises, everybody.
Wow, all right.
So Phineas and Ferb is probably the Disney Channel's biggest cartoon, longest running. I like it because
I'd say that.
I think it is the longest running. Because, like...
The longest running, I think, yeah.
Like, Gravity Falls only had 2 seasons.
Yeah, Gravity Falls only had 2.
Fish Hooks, I think, just had, like, 1 or 2. DuckTales.
Oh, you mean the show nobody remembers?
Yeah, exactly. DuckTales had a couple.
Said 3.
But anyways, Phineas and Ferb is about these 2 characters. Surprisingly not called Phineas and Ferb. They're called Toby and Maguire.
Oh man, I was hoping they were Emilio and Rian. Those would have been epic names for a very popular
Why didn't we
Disney
call
show.
the Trash Talk podcast that?
Because Disney has a lot of lawyers.
Yeah.
And copyright exists.
But the Trash Talk podcast is about Ryan and Emilio hosts. Oh shit! You want me to talk about Phineas and Ferb? Okay.
Damn it.
Yeah, so it's
We'll
these
save that for later
brothers
in the
in
list.
summer vacation. They have a pet platypus, a secret agent that fights Dr. Doofenshmirtz. And it's just a weirdly original show, and weirdly it breaks the fourth wall without even realize that they're breaking the fourth wall. And like the movies are just hilarious. I
Absolutely. The first one, Across the Second Dimension, was,
Yeah.
I think, the best one of all the movies they've had.
That Candace Against the Universe is the only reason I got Disney Plus. I didn't care about the Marvel shows, or I just wanted to watch the Phineas and Ferb movie.
Of course.
It's also crazy that they exist in the same universe as the Marvel and Star Wars movies because they have two crossover events.
Which is weird. I mean, technically they exist in the Marvel universe, but the Star Wars, I think that's an alternate reality.
Oh yeah,
Because
oh yeah,
they are the characters. But Marvel, yeah, I
yeah.
think they exist in the same universe as Marvel.
And yeah, it's a crazy show. It's I don't know, it's funny, and yeah, that's Phineas and
I think
Ferb's.
I think Doofenshmirtz is honestly like one of the best characters that Disney's produced on like one
Yeah,
of their TV shows, just because of how funny and bizarre he is,
yeah,
and how, despite how evil he tries to be, he's at the end of the day he's a good guy, just
yeah,
with really stupid intentions.
yeah. I mean, my favorite character is Candace, but Doofenshmirtz is like a close second.
Really? Wow, I'm
Yeah.
surprised by that one.
Well, I mean,
Honestly, I thought yours.
Candace
Huh.
is the main character of the show, though.
In a technical sense, you could argue that. I personally thought your favorite character this entire time was Ferb, just
Ferb.
because you like the strong silent types,
Oh,
which is the exact opposite of your personality.
I feel like I'd be Phineas and you'd be maybe like, you know, that one character that shows up in the background.
The one character, you mean any of the other side characters in the series,
You're
which
like
could be any of
you're like the dad, you
the
know.
dad. What do you call him a side character? Well, I'll take being the dad. Why not? Have a fancy British accent. Why not?
God, Ryan, you're so American. You think having a British accent is fancy.
It's
Um,
so cool, man. Let me tell you. I want to say good day, mate. No, that's Australia. Never mind.
I mean, it's like right there. It's like right next to it. I don't know.
Might as well be.
So, anything else you want to add on Phineas and Ferb?
I mean, I really enjoyed the show. I'm a fan of a lot of different of the older Disney shows as well as like the more modern ones from like Gravity Falls in 2012 is one
Yeah.
of my favorite cartoons out there. But Phineas and Ferb was a really enjoyable time. But the only thing for Phineas and Ferb I haven't seen. It's funny you bring up Phineas and Ferb because there's a spin-off show that didn't last very long, like Milo Murphy,
Well,
Milo Murphy's
it's not
Law.
a spin-off show. It's a completely different.
It's kind of a spin-off. It's a kind of a spiritual successor in a way after it ended. Because
Well,
Phineas
I
and Ferb
mean,
did a
it's
few
it's it's
crossovers.
from the same creators, though. If that's what you mean.
Yeah, same universe too. Doofenshmirtz was in the last season completely.
Oh, I didn't know. I really never watched Milo, to be honest.
Well, Doofenshmirtz, as it turns out, is actually the one who invented time travel, and he is in the second or third season, the last one right now.
Wow.
He is like a prominent recurring character. He moves in with the Murphys and tries to do a lot of good things to make up for like it takes place after the ending of Phineas and Ferb. So
Oh man, now I gotta watch Milo. Whatever.
my Murphy's Law.
And yeah, that's
I'll
my
wait for
number 9. Number
That's it.
8. 31 minutos. I've talked about this show. It's on Netflix. I introduced it to
understood that for
Ryan.
sure.
I explained it to Ryan as the Chilean version of the Muppets, but
Oh yeah, that's right. The one we talked about in like episode 4, I believe.
yeah, but
The
I
Russian
think
doctor.
it's way funnier than the Muppets, and it's a lot more charming than the Muppets because they don't have like the same resources as the Muppets with Disney have, so they get
They don't have
creative
the same
with
knowledge.
so many ways. It's like such a funny show. It's so original. It's about this it's this news show. It's a parody of 60 Minutes. That's why it's called 31 Minutes. But for children, and there's just like a lot of ridiculous situations, and it's kind of weirdly. It came out in 2004, but it's quite like ahead of its time. You know, it tackled like victims of like celebrity abuse, marketing to
Ooh,
children,
interesting.
um, the Chilean dictatorship, which is like a really brutal part of Chilean history. Google
He said-
Pinochet, but they tackle it in a way that kids can understand and the adults can also enjoy. My parents love this show.
Oh
Um,
my god.
it's weirdly like one of the weirder episodes is that the news show loses its main sponsor. So they are desperate for a sponsorship, so they get in line with this onion supplier. So all the now the news show now has to be onion theme. It's like so weird.
Why does this sound like an early episode of the Trash Talk podcast when we tried to get a sponsorship
Basically,
sometime back?
except we didn't get scammed. Um,
No, it was a terrible. It was a terrible whole story.
but yeah, check it out. The first season is available on Netflix. The other seasons, they're available. Se hablas espanhol ou se você fala português, a gente pode ver. But if you speak English, nah, you're fucked. You can't find it.
No, probably not. I'm gonna try looking it up after this. I'll probably Google like some porn parody or something. It's probably wouldn't pop up if I try to.
I'm gonna get a
translate that.
text at 3 in the morning. It's like, Emilio, your show's amazing. Like when the hentai scene starts, and like, like
He's
what?
like Ryan, that's not the right show.
Yeah,
Oh well, I like it anyway, so I'm gonna stick with it.
it's actually incredibly progressive for 2004 because one of the character was actually like, it was hinted at that they were gay, and but when it arrived in other countries, like for example in Brazil, they censored that.
Oh,
A lot of episodes in Mexico were censored as well. So when I watched it, like when I got older, it was like a completely different show, and it was actually funnier seeing like the raw version,
of course it
the
was.
Snyder cut version of the show.
Well, all you're gonna do is pirate the show anyway, so you might as well not even bother at this point.
Actually, the entire show is free on YouTube. Like
You're
after
dude, you're
they
gonna.
after they finished the show, they uploaded all of it to YouTube. The creators for free.
Dude, it could be available for free and delivered to your front door. You'll still pirate it. I mean, look at what you're trying to do with the Snyder Cut. You're just gonna
No,
leave
dude,
it
I
down
wouldn't do it with art. You know, with the Snyder cut, of
Sure.
course I would fucking do it.
Wow, taking money away from Warner Brothers because a multi-billion-dollar
Yeah,
company
they really need
needs
it.
like they really need
Not
your
an
money for that.
independent Chilean company.
Nah, why not?
I
Forget that.
have supported them. I bought their book.
And
Awkward
for those of you
silence.
listening to this, you have a great visualization of what this is.
Yeah, I got their
You have-
book. It's called Umburu.
It looks very similar to the Muppets in the design of the characters.
Yeah.
I will say.
Yeah, but this show's better. Shut up, Ryan.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't think.
Trust me, bro. Trust me. If this video gets 10 likes, I will translate the entire season 2 for Ryan.
All right, we'll do a reading for an episode. Read the entire season.
Anyways, that's number 8. Let's go to number 7.
SpongeBob.
No, I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob when I was a kid.
You're not missing much nowadays. You're not.
Oh crap! I wrote The Simpsons. Let me get rid of that.
Wow.
No, I wrote Community. I love this show. Everybody says that it becomes like really bad after season 4, but I actually like all of the seasons. You know, it obviously isn't the same after some of the Ooh, spoilers. I don't want to spoil this because I want people to watch them.
Don't spoil it then.
Okay, I'll just say people say season 4 is bad, but I think it's okay. It's good. Basically, it's a show about this guy who fakes his law degree, so he has to go back to college to finish that credit he needs to get it, right? So he goes to a community college, and there he builds a ragtag group of friends. It's actually created by the Dan Harmon, who's one of the co-creators of Rick and Morty.
Oh no.
Except I think this show's better because it eliminates all the stuff I hated about Rick and Morty.
Yeah, you don't hear wobble of a dub every episode, so we're off to a good start so far.
Yeah. But it's a really funny show. It's original. It's like a different sort of idea around the college movie, although it's a show, but you guys get what I mean. And you should check it out. It's really funny. Donald Glover is actually on it, so if you're a fan of Childish Gambino, he's in it. Yeah.
Childish Gambino sounds like the son of like the Gambino crime family in New York City. Kind of reminds me of like his son, whoever's the head of that organization right now.
Well, it's not. He's a rapper.
Dang it. Well, I tried. I'm sorry, Mafia crime family watching.
Dude, they're like our biggest fans. Now they're gonna stop watching.
Oh, I know, right? It's crazy.
So yeah, that's Community.
Oh yeah.
We're going really fast. We need to fill in the gaps. So Ryan's now gonna talk to you all about his vacation to
All
North
right, everyone.
Korea.
Oh, it's actually a really fun time, guys. So,
I'm just
the
kidding. No one wants to hear
oh
that.
my dang it! Wow.
He
Well,
got
guess we'll
pranked.
save. Tell you what, if we get 20 likes on this episode, we will do an entire video dedicated to my vacation to North Korea, where I lost my pants and my dignity in one trip.
Oh
Click like for
wow.
more.
I am
Click like for more.
intrigued. I am intrigued.
I know. Well,
Um.
20 likes. That's the only way we're gonna do it. Sorry, guys.
Anyways, number 6. But before, our word from our sponsors. Uh,
Um.
no, I'm just kidding. Ryan, have you heard
uh,
about Community? The show.
um. The show? No, I haven't. I've never actually heard of the show, but up until this point. But it
Wow.
sounds interesting.
Okay. I think Ryan would like it more because he's actually had the American college experience.
Well, I haven't faked my degree, so yeah, I haven't. I have the. I don't have the American experience because everyone here fakes their degrees.
So yeah, basically whatever everything that happens in Community happens in American colleges. That's why they're so expensive. Uh,
Exactly. That's why the show. That's why Dan Harmon got the idea from, because Rick and Morty wouldn't pay the bills, so he's like, "Well, what else am I going to do? Oh, wait, that's right. That thing I did in
I
college
actually
was
think
probably a fake
he
law
did
degree."
he did that show before Rick and Morty, but
They don't know that. Just roll it.
yeah. So number 6, I have Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
I swear this show sounds very familiar to me.
It's actually
I
made. It
don't know
was made
why.
by the CW, which I just find amazing that
Oh,
the
the CW.
CW
Wow.
picked it up, considering that their catalog is so different from what appears on the show. To be
I mean,
honest,
hell, they have so many different like DC properties under
yeah.
their belt now too, like the Flash and whatnot.
So if you didn't know, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is a show by Rachel Bloom. She plays
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Rebecca Bunch. So the idea is that she was working hard in a New York job. She made the dough, but it made her blue. And, one day she was crying a lot, and then she decided to move to West Covina, California. Brand new pals and new career. And that just happens to be where Josh lives. But that's not why she's there. She's the crazy ex-girlfriend. She's the crazy ex-girlfriend. Man, it'd be so funny if Ryan had watched the show because that's the opening theme. Um,
This sounds like every rom-com ever invented, just from the intro alone.
yeah, it's a musical. It's a critique of the sort of
Oh
movies
no.
of rom-coms. It's really funny. It's kind of it's like Phineas and Ferb, but a little bit more grown up and a lot less episodic.
Oh, so do they have a platypus too that's secretly a secret agent?
No, it's actually a beaver. It's kind of weird.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, okay, that's different. Well, they both have tails, so I'll give you that.
yeah. Ryan, please stop scratching your nose all of the show, please. Um, yeah, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Yeah, it's about this girl. She's a lawyer in New York, and one day she runs into this guy who she used to date when she was a teenager, and she decides to move across the country for him. And the show's kind of showing why this wouldn't really work in real life and why it's crazy.
It sounds very epic. Let me tell you.
Have you
You know
heard
what,
of this
Emilio?
show?
I've heard this show mentioned here and there through the CW. I've watched shows like The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow and other DC shows over the years
Nerd.
on the CW. So I take that title with pride, you son of a bitch. I take that as a compliment.
Nerd.
But I will say, I think that's probably where I heard the show when I was watching through that time period. How long has the show been on for?
It already ended, but I think it had like 4 seasons.
Like what year did it start up roughly?
2014.
Okay, so I probably did hear of it then, like when they picked up the Flash. I think because that's where it sounds familiar to me. So I probably heard.
Damn, who watches The Flash nowadays?
I don't need more. I dropped off the show a little while back. It just kind of got a little too much for me.
So that's number 6 for me. I think we can go ahead and talk about Ryan's number 5.
All right. First off, my number 5 is probably, I want to say probably the most controversial on this list, this show in particular may or may not offend some people, and if it does, I totally understand the reasoning behind it. So, without any further ado, let's just get this over with. Everyone, you've seen it at some point on the internet and on TV, probably. Lost in
South Park.
Translation, the shittiest game show I've ever been on in my life.
He is just saying that because he lost, Lamau.
Emilio rigged the game show.
How did I rig it? I was the host. Why? What sort of
You
benefit
have a
would I
bias
get from letting
opinion.
Cole win? He's the most annoying person ever. It would have been better if you had won.
That is true. Cole, we love you if you're watching
Nah,
this.
screw you, Cole. But
Yeah, fuck you, Cole. No. We'll win the next episode, everyone. Mark my words. The next episode I'm on, I will win. I will take my title back.
so, what's your
But
number
anywho,
5?
my actual number 5, I don't know if you've ever heard of this show. It was an old show that was on, it was a crime drama known as Castle. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one or not.
I don't really like crime dramas.
Okay, well, I do. I love like murder mysteries and like CSI, like S shows and that kind of thing. And Castle was a big murder mystery show that I watched when that was on for approximately 7, 8 seasons or so. It was a really good series. It was about this novelist named Richard Castle who teams up with the New York City Police Department alongside one of the head captains there, Kate Beckett.
Oh, dude,
And
Nathan Fillion is in it.
Yeah, that's Nathan Fillion. He's Richard Castle.
Wow.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion. That was one of his starring TV roles years back. It was really good. But he joins with them and helps them solve like crime cases and whatnot, like solve murders and whatnot in New York City. And there's a lot of really good storylines that take place with both him, Kate, and other members of the New York City Police Department. It's a really good show, I must admit. It's a somewhat popular crime drama. It's not amazing by any means because the later season, admittedly, they wrapped up the main story way too quick, in my opinion, and the finale to the show was kind of satisfying but very rushed. But the early seasons and even the later ones, they were all really good and they were intriguing enough. So, but I would check.
173 episodes.
I would recommend at least checking out the early episodes. It was really, really good when it was on. So Castle would be my number 5.
Lame.
No, we mean yeah, okay, lame, Mr. Jim Henson knockoff Muppet Show.
Dude, my show might be a knockoff, but it's better.
No, it's not.
Number
My
5,
show's original.
we have this show might not. It's kind of popular actually in the United States. I'm actually surprised. It's Merli. This show is from Spain, from Barcelona. Joder. It's this show about this high school teacher. He teaches philosophy, and the show kind of uses sort of, it uses what these thinkers used to preach, but it uses it to build a story about these teenagers and this teacher, and it serves a way to learning philosophy, and it has cool aspects of like drama. It's the only this and another show I have on the list are the only like 2 teen dramas that I tolerate because the writing is amazing, the acting is amazing. I think we should just give up on Riverdale and let Spanish people write it because they do such a better job.
No joke, I was literally just thinking, as soon as you mentioned teen drama, I
Oh
thought of
my
Riverdale.
God. Riverdale is so bad.
As soon as you brought that up, I thought of Riverdale. I was like, is he going to say Riverdale? And you immediately did. I was like, holy shit, we were thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
that show's bad. It doesn't look good at all.
I had a classmate in German class, and we were talking about shows we like, and she was like, "Bro, you should watch Riverdale. It's like really good." And I was like, "Okay." And then one day I was like, "Well, I got nothing to do. Let's watch Riverdale." Never.
And it was probably really bad.
Never again. Never again.
And with this announcement, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to officially announce the next upcoming episode where Emilio ranks every single Riverdale episode.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or else his channel gets deleted off of YouTube.
You guys get to decide. We listen about Ryan's boring vacations, or we rank all of the Riverdale episodes.
You guys decide in the comments below. None of you.
But yeah. So I guess I continue with my number 4, and it's actually another teen drama. It's How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. And I know what you're thinking.
You took my online course? Dude, thank you for supporting me. It was only $5 and you actually went with it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Don't tell the cops.
Yeah. This show is from Germany. It's available on Netflix. If you want to check it
Of
out, I've
course.
watched it so many times. It's so fun. It's about this.
This video is sponsored by NordVPN.
It's this
By the
show.
way.
This show is like if they took Breaking Bad and the funny parts from The Big Bang Theory and put them together. It's so funny. Um, Ryan's not
I'm
impressed.
very skeptical. I'm skeptical at this combination of shows.
So it's about this guy called Moritz. Uh, his girlfriend recently went to the United States and started taking like LSD and this sort of stuff. And then she dumps him for like a much more attractive guy, for a real Chad, for a Ryan looking guy, yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
And it's actually Ryan in the show. I was
I know, it's
surprised.
crazy, right? I'm surprised they didn't keep me on for more than an episode, though. I mean, you take your shirt off once and they tell you to leave. Like, it was probably the worst set I've ever worked on.
Yeah, but basically, this guy says, "Well, I gotta show this girl now that I'm also like into drugs." So he convinces his friend. So him and his friends are like really into computer and coding and this stuff, and they're trying to start a shop where you can buy video game items, right? So this guy
I
takes
like
the
it.
code, and he uses it to sell drugs.
Okay, I
So
don't like it now.
this show is incredible because it uses these dumbass teenagers to show you how drug trade in Europe works and how the deep web works and the side effects of LSD. It's the editing in the show is amazing.
Uh,
It's incredible.
how is this show not banned in the European Union? It's painting Europe in a bad one.
I mean, I think World War II already did that.
Yeah. All right, then. So back to the show.
Colonialism.
Gosh damn it.
Have you heard of this show, Ryan?
I have not actually before.
Well,
this.
you should
It's
watch
an
it.
interesting premise, though. I like the idea of it from the sound of it. Not the drug dealing part, because that's my gig.
Because Ryan's a pussy.
You're joking, of course. I don't condone drug use. However, I will say it
I
sounds
do.
interesting.
Man.
Someone needs a screenshot. Make that the. Gosh, stop now, please. But no, the show sounds good. It might be something I'd want to check out if I was ever in the mood for it, because I do like the idea of it.
Yeah. Anyways, Ryan, what's your number 4?
Number 4 is a very different CSI slash anthropology-esque show called Bones.
Oh, I've heard of Bones.
Have you?
I haven't
It's a
watched it.
really good. It's a good show though. It is the main characters involved there is an anthropologist known as Temperance Brennan and a head FBI agent Booth. I forget his name. Something. We'll just go with Booth because that's his last name.
Sealy Booth.
Sealy. Okay, Sealy. Yeah, they both work at the fictional Jeffersonian Institute in Washington D.C., where they take specific murder cases and specialize in identifying remains. The gimmick of the show is they don't do straight out murder cases like you'd see on like CSI or Castle, like I mentioned before. Instead, they take bizarre situations where people are murdered and their bodies are disposed of in bizarre ways, and they have to identify the remains, identify the cause of death, and they spend the entirety of parts of the episode identifying these different parts of how this person died, and they have little to no evidence to go off of because they find a body in a lake dissolved in acid, they find a body dumped in a park. There's a lot of different ways. It's not a straight up murder case. It's not a clear cut, okay, this person was shot kind of thing. It's always bodies that are found like shallow graves or something like that. It's a very unique spin on investigating like what would otherwise be generic murder cases in shows like this.
So
It's a really good
It's
dynamic.
essentially about forensic science.
Forensic science is a major base for it, but it does it in a way that people can understand it and appreciate it more. And it's just done really well. The characters are really funny. The dialogue is very witty. The way that they have the Jeffersonian setup is like this hub where you can see the investigation going on, but also the outside areas, like where they investigate the cases and interview people. It's really well done, I must admit. It's a really good
246 episodes.
Yeah, they had a lot of seasons.
12
but it's really good.
seasons.
The quality was definitely there. I will admit, again, as the same case with Castle, the last season had good quality episodes, but parts of it were rushed.
Yeah.
Why, I don't know. They should have taken a bit more time with certain plot points, but all in all, it had a better finale than Castle did. it was more structured. So yeah, overall, it was pretty good. I really enjoyed Bones. I highly recommend you guys go and check it out. And
Uh,
also, please get me back on any movie sets. I am desperate for acting gigs.
yes, please. We don't want him here for season 6, so
It's- that was oh yeah. Wait, is it season 6 or 5 next?
I don't know.
I think it's.
Well,
I
we
don't
can't
remember. It's
legally
one of the.
fire you because of contract, so
Yeah. Well, you guess you're just gonna have to deal with me then, guys. So the only way you
yeah.
can at this point is to get me busy doing another project.
I feel like
Sorry.
Bones is a show where, it's like you gotta wait for it to pop on the TV because I don't feel like I could marathon these 246 episodes.
Admittedly, there are a lot. The thing that keeps the episodes fresh is that every murder case they take on, including the victim and like how they identified the remains and everything else, it's all different scenarios about unique murder cases and body dumps. That's what makes it different. Each episode unique. Now, admittedly, it can get a bit generic at some points with like why the person got killed and stuff, but the setup at the very least for each of the episodes is really good. It's good enough to at least check out a few of them and see if it's something you want to stick with for the overall story.
Good.
This should be the thumbnail. This is
Good.
the
Yeah,
best thumbnail.
my friend told me about this. He said it was good, but yeah, now that I know there's 12 seasons, I might not watch it.
Or at least check out a few episodes. You don't even have to watch them in order. Just check out a few.
I'm gonna
See if
Google
you
which
like
one's the highest ranked episode, and I'll watch that one.
it. Okay, fair enough.
So what's
What's your
no, dude? What's your number 3?
well, my number 3? Wow, that's it's an interesting one. You know what? I originally had something else set up for this, but screw it. I'm not even gonna include my original thing with it because I barely watched it. So when we were talking about certain shows earlier, I remembered this was actually one show I loved to death, and that would be my number 3, Gravity Falls. I love this show so much. Gravity Falls was one of the best shows Disney ever produced, period. It's also one of the best cartoons, in my opinion, that has come out over the past several years. Gravity Falls is a very unique show that goes out of its way to dedicate itself to the fans and the creators themselves. With two twins, Dipper and Mabel Pines, going to the mysterious town of Gravity Falls with their grunkle Stan, investigating weird paranormal happenings and having bizarre adventures, all the while finding out about an underlying conspiracy involving a long-lost family member and a one-eyed demon known as Bill Cipher. And also Gideon's there too, but it's a really good show. The characters are funny. It's fourth wall breaking, great references to modern day culture, and the developers Alex Hirsch was the lead creator of the show. They went out of their way to make fake promotional material to throw dedicated theorists off. They had coded messages in advertisements and in the show, hinting at certain events. Played scenes from season 1 backwards, hinting at stuff that happened in season 2 that people would go back and identify. This show wasn't just a great show for the story and the characters. It was great to form its own community and fan base. I have never seen a more dedicated fan base to a show like this in my life, with dedicated theorists, communities, forums, videos.
A bunch
There's all
of
sorts
nerds.
of stuff to explain things. What I'm saying is Gravity Falls is a one-of-a-kind experience and lasted just long enough with 2 seasons to provide a fantastic story, great episodes, and the only cartoon finale that made me cry. That's not a joke.
What about Avatar?
Avatar, we'll get to that one.
No,
You spoiled it.
Gravity Falls. I got into it
I
a
love
bit
Gravity
late
Falls.
because the first season I was so bored by it because I thought it was the most unfunny thing I've ever watched.
Wow.
And until I learned that they had all the secret codes and stuff, I thought, oh well, that's kind of cool.
Wow. Emilio is just a hater. Gravity Falls fans, I am so sorry you have to hear this from this simpleton who doesn't know good TV from shitty content on YouTube.
You can't even name 10 TV shows.
Just, I could come up with more. I go with quality over quantity.
The last show you talked about had 200 episodes. What are you talking about?
That's good quality.
That's good quantity.
246 of them were good. There was that one that was probably shit.
No, but like I didn't think it was like that. Like the first season and then the second season kind of picked up, and I thought, oh, well, this kind of cool.
I gotta be honest. I liked Gravity Falls, I think, more than a lot of Phineas and Ferb, if I'm honest. The thing I loved most about Phineas and Ferb was Doofenshmirtz and Perry's dynamic was, I think, my favorite
Yeah.
part of the show, personally.
Okay. Well, we stopped talking about Phineas and Ferb about an hour ago. So.
Well, I'm just I'm making a comparison to another popular Disney show that we mentioned before.
When you said that, people listening were just like, "Wait, why is it replaying something that already happened?"
This is the part in the podcast where we just reuse the audio to extend the length
Yeah.
artificially. Most of you won't notice.
Yeah. So this is a really
But-
cool show I liked called Friends. That's my number 10.
Yeah, it was really good. Let me tell you, I've never heard of Friends.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's about these guys. Well, yeah, Gravity Falls. I think I put it down as a show like I enjoyed. I wouldn't put it as my favorites because I wasn't as dedicated into the fandom as most people because I didn't hear about
Take
that
that back.
until like the very end. So, but yeah,
Take it back.
I think
Your-
Gravity
your-
Falls
your
is okay.
opinion- Your opinion is misguided. Take it back.
No, dude, I will never take it back.
No, I'm not doing
Anyways, my number 3 is Love by Judd Apatow, who's actually the guy that made the Superbad movie.
that. I've never heard of this either.
You've never watched Super or it's Super Cool?
No,
No,
I have never watched it.
dude, come on! How have you never watched it,
I've never even heard of it up to this point, man. That's not a joke. I haven't.
dude? It's so it
legitimately-
has Michael Cera in it. How have you not watched it?
Oh no!
Freaking Scott Pilgrim is in the movie.
I've never watched Scott Pilgrim either.
God damn it, Ryan! Do you own a TV or what? Did you watch these shows when you went to the mall and they were playing them at Best Buy?
I stole them from Blockbuster before they closed.
Anyways, so Love is another critique of rom-coms. It's about this guy who pick up and he meets this girl, and this other girl is a sex and love addict. So
Oh no!
it-
Another one of these shows.
it's really cool, guys. You should watch it. I've watched it so many times because it's the dialogue's cool, and that's pretty much my favorite part about it. So
So if that's the best part of the show, then it must not be that fantastic, because that's really nothing to say about it.
well, okay, I just don't want to give spoilers. That's why.
Yeah.
The
okay,
higher we
sure.
go on this list, the less I talk about them because I want people to watch them.
I see. Okay. Fair enough. All right then.
So,
Well,
since my said my number 3 now, I guess I go to number 2. That's how numbers work.
yep, absolutely. We're doing the alphabet great.
So my number 2 is The In-Betweeners. Oh my god, guys, this show is amazing. You've never heard of
No,
it? What the frick, Ryan? Don't you? What?
never heard of
Do you
it.
just stare at clouds for entertainment or something?
I would steal them if I could, but I have to look at them. I can't grab air.
So The In-Betweeners is this British sitcom about these 4 teenagers in a British suburb. They're called the
Oh,
In-Betweeners
no.
because they're not like the cool kids at school. Neither are they like the bottom of the barrel. And it's just them trying to look cool in school, and they always fail. And I think people call it like the most authentic representation of youth in television ever. It's just so raunchy and so funny. But Ryan's never watched it because he only
That's
watches
great, buddy.
Disney Channel and NBC.
NBC. That's bullshit. I don't even watch TV nowadays. I'm just going off of old shows that I really enjoyed watching in the past.
Have you watched something recently at least?
No, I don't watch TV much anymore. It's YouTube mostly for me. If I'm being honest. There's some TV shows I've caught here and there that I enjoy, but nothing like in depth to put on this list.
Yeah,
Not ultimately.
damn it. Okay, Ryan, what's your
So-
number 2?
All right, my number 2 may surprise some of you out there. This show may not completely be from the United States, or might originally be from another country. It's a show called Shark Attack. It's an episode where a drug lord kidnaps people that are his enemies, and he takes them to a remote part of Antarctica and drops them in the water and see how long they can survive against the sharks.
That's the entire
Really
premise of the show?
Yeah, that's it. It was on for one episode. They caught the guy after the first episode's filming, but let me tell you, it was a great show.
Can't find it.
Are you actually looking that up?
Oh, did you make it up? Did I fall for it?
Yeah, I made it up. What the hell, man?
No, dude, it exists! It's called When
not.
Shark Attacks.
Yeah, well, it's not about drug lord kidnapping people and killing them.
When Shark Attacks, terror-filled deep-sea saga using underwater photography, gripping news archives, and paralyzing testimony to investigate 3 mysterious and deadly recent shark attacks.
Note, I did not know this show existed. It was just a meme. It's just a prank, bro. I had no idea that was a show.
Because, I feel like I've heard of When Shark Attacks, and I thought that was what you were talking about. But I guess
No.
great minds think alike, I guess.
Yep, that and Emilio just got bamboozled.
I got pranked, everybody. Wow.
I epically pranked him.
The show ends here.
It's
over.
Just because he got humiliated on.
Well,
on
it's a good thing I edit the podcast, so people will never know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'll never know what just happened there. Oh damn it! Wow. No, my actual number 2 isn't going to surprise any of you then. From the trend I've been going with.
It's
my number 2 is CSI
show.
Miami. No, it's CSI Miami actually.
Well, how is this
very
different
good
one to the other ones?
Because CSI. It is technically a crime drama like Bones and Castle, but it's different. It's from the most popular genre of show of this type. CSI Miami is a really good premise. I don't even really need to describe this one too much. It's a certain cast of characters stationed in Miami investigating crimes, mostly homicide related, and having their own stories within each season with different characters. And I enjoyed CSI Miami, not as much as other shows within like the CSI show franchise, but it was my second favorite of the 4 they ended up making.
So we already know which one's number 1.
Yeah, no spoilers, man.
CSI Ryansville, Pennsylvania.
Absolutely, that show actually didn't even last as long as the Shark Attack one.
Yeah.
That didn't even make it past the first day of filming. What a coinky.
Well, I don't really know what to say about CSI. I've literally never watched it.
I'd recommend watch the original one. That one is the best one by far.
Okay, so I wrote a bunch of honorable mentions. I don't know if you did the same, or would you like to get some?
I did actually for my number 1. I have a few honorable mentions in mind. One specifically.
Which one?
Well, you didn't even talk about your number 2 yet.
I already talked about it. It's the In-Betweeners.
All right, the show I never heard of. Sorry, that's right.
That's like half the shows I've talked about right now.
No, I've already forgot about that. No, the honorable mention that I had for my number 1, and a show that I think even surpasses Gravity Falls, especially in terms of being a really good.
Wait. Don't you have honorable mentions?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. My honorable mention for number 1.
So you're gonna say your number 1.
No, I'm going to say my honorable mention for my number 1.
And then you say your number 1.
Yeah, sure, we can do it that way.
Okay.
So my honorable mention or runner-up for my number 1 was Avatar: The Last Airbender. Was my runner-up for my number 1 favorite show. Avatar is one of the best shows I think ever created in terms of animation. It is a fantastic storyline that lasted just long enough with 3 different seasons. Had great cast of characters, a great storyline within the universe, and had some of the best animated characters I think in any show, especially with Iroh. He was the embodiment of everything great about Avatar.
No, dumbass, that's Zuko. Zuko's the best part about the show.
No, Zuko is great, don't get me wrong, but I loved Iroh. Iroh was what helped make Zuko's character fantastic. And I won't go into too much detail because we've already talked about Avatar more in depth in like a previous episode. But what I will say is Avatar is a fantastic show, and it was my honorable mention and runner-up.
Okay, So I have a bunch of honorable mentions that I really wanted to fit in, and I really want to talk about these shows. But because of
All right, get
time,
ready for the Snooze Fest.
so
Let's
let's
do it.
go. Friday Night Dinner, Brown Nation, The Kids Are Alright, The IT Crowd, Malcolm in the Middle, Master of None, Family Business, League of Super Evil, Parks and Rec, Paquita Salas, Peep Show, Bienvenidos a la Familia, That 70s Show, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Grace and Frankie, The Office, the US version, the UK version sucks, Years and Years, Silicon Valley, Avatar The Last Airbender, WandaVision, The Boys, The Umbrella Academy, The Good Place, O Mecanismo, Borges, One Punch Man, Konosuba, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, BoJack Horseman, and F is for Family. These are all great shows and probably objectively better than other ones, but I haven't watched them a bunch of times, and I watched them during quarantine, so it doesn't count.
I can't believe you put the League of Super Evil on that list.
It's honorable mentions.
That shouldn't even be an honorable mention. It's a decent show, but it's not that amazing at the end of the day.
But it's like
It's
a really
something.
funny show. That's why it's honorable mention. That's why it's not on the list.
Not really. I mean, some of those shows could have been, I guess, like on your actual list too. Like The Office, I know is a popular one. I haven't seen too many episodes of it, but it seems pretty good. The UK version, I think, is better than the US version, personally.
Oh, have you watched it?
No, I'm just saying that because you don't like it.
It's not that I don't like it. I think it didn't have the right casting like the US version, I feel like.
Ah, damn it! So the US version's the better version then.
Yeah. Congratulations,
All right.
America. You finally did something well.
I know. Beside giving birth to me,
Oh, so the bar was already quite low.
they didn't have much progress to make from there.
So anyways, Ryan, what's your number one pick?
My number one show, as hinted at earlier, is none other than the DeBoss Anime Part 1.
Wow!
I know, it's crazy,
Holy
right?
crap! I thought it was gonna be
Yeah,
another one of those boring CSI ones, but I'm so happy it's not.
Oh, damn
Wow.
it. You're making me feel great about my choice for my number one now. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. No, my actual number one show, and the show that I followed the most throughout my entire life, and even played video games from, was the original CSI that took place in Las Vegas. That is a fantastic show to me, and probably my favorite show. It is the show that I've watched the most of. It is the show that I've gone on my way to even buy episodes for on an iPod of all things years back. And I even played video games that released on older consoles just because I wanted to experience more of the cases. It is a great show. It's held up. It lasted a long time, like 15 seasons the original did. And it was really good for the quality. The later episodes dipped a bit here and there, but I don't think that matters ultimately because of the quality you have with the storylines and the cases. They got so creative with many of the episodes. CSI would be my number one favorite show, although Avatar wasn't too far off from being there.
I'm going to riot. Why wasn't that Avatar? I do not know.
Just because I knew Emilio really liked the show, and he didn't know what CSI was, so I just made that
I know
the
what
exception for
CSI
that.
is. CSI isn't real,
Right.
guys. You guys got pranked. Doesn't exist.
Oh no! Just like you did earlier, man.
What
Role
about
reversed.
what did I think earlier? That clip doesn't exist, Ryan. I make reality, Ryan.
Oh, you do. Oh,
I
okay,
can snap
Thanos.
my fingers and you'll be replaced with another host.
All right, snap your fingers then. We'll see. I feel funny. What's happening to me?
Do not question my power. Ever again.
Oh, hey there, everybody. What's up? Lopsided camo hat Ryan here. Sorry. Welcome.
Welcome
How's it
back,
going, man?
Ryan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Brian.
Brian.
Nice to meet you.
That's correct.
This is my first day here on the podcast, actually.
First day?
This is
No,
pretty cool.
he's always been here, everybody. He's
Oh, okay.
always been here.
No, I'm pretty sure this is my first day. Who are you? Holy shit.
That's right,
What
bitch.
the heck?
Never question my power.
Did you just replace me?
That's right, motherfucker.
Oh my god. I am so sorry. I will never question your authority again.
Yeah,
That guy sounded
that's
like-
actually a plot to CSI episode 368, part 2.
Part 2 of 360. Was there even 368 episodes? I don't know.
Probably.
Probably.
So
What was
my
your number
favorite
one?
show. My favorite show was How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, okay, so this one I do.
So I have it as my first choice because it's a show that showed me. Look at that. A show that showed me a different way
Yeah.
of sitcom that I didn't know, because I was used to all the Friends-like sitcoms. So it showed me new horizons, and yes, it is better than Friends. All of you can shut up. You've already seen what I did to Ryan. I have.
We'll do the same thing to you.
I don't only
Oh my
have
God.
power in the trash talk realm. I have power in all the 9 realms.
The trash talk realm. Yeah, the trash talk realm is one of the 9 main realms of the universe. Just this.
Yes.
Wow. The universe is really downgraded the quality.
Yeah. I mean, we
It
did
went
get
from-
a cameo in Thor: The Dark World, but nobody
That's
watched
true.
that movie, so.
That's the worst Marvel movie. Marvel, we are expecting. We never got paid for that either.
I mean, it's about the experience, and exposure.
You're right. It was about the experience. Marvel, I am expecting a check in the mail any day now.
That
So,
is correct.
pony it up.
Pay me.
Amy
Anyways,
didn't.
so that's our top 10 shows. As you all guys have learned today, Ryan is a bootlicker with police.
And Emilio can be easily fooled by terrible shark TV show premises.
What did we say? Look at where my fingers are.
I'm sorry. Okay. I mean, Emilio had a great selection of shows, and he definitely didn't get pranked or anything. So,
Good.
Alright.
Um.
cool.
So, what were we talking about? Oh yeah. So that shows.
TV.
I think we learned today that Ryan will watch anything that's episodic, and I do need an overarching story sometimes.
We need a subplot for this show. Something that happens like in every episode. Something that kind of drive this season. Starting with
vasectomy joke. Laugh
yeah.
track.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, you guys remember the vasectomy episode? It was pretty epic.
Okay, cool. We did already the quota. I think this is a good time to end the show. And if we don't have any ideas for next week, we'll do top 10 movies.
That'd be interesting. See, I have a lot more experience with movies than TV shows.
Okay. Cool, so do I.
All right, so first up will be Logan Paul's epic YouTube Red movie. That'll be my number one favorite one, Airplane.
I mean, you got 3 movies. You got Airplane, The Thinning Part 2. Now I only need 7 movies, so.
I'm refunding my YouTube Red subscription now. The one I never bought.
I do have a friend that pays for YouTube Red. I do not understand that.
Your friend is a misguided soul, and I hope you're there for him in his time of need.
Yeah. I only paid for it when Cobra Kai was like, you had to pay to watch it. Like, the only episode that was free was the first one.
What's Cobra Kai?
God damn it, Ryan.
I'm joking. I know what Cobra Kai is. I know it's like a sequel of Karate Kid. I know what it is.
Oh, Ryan. It's a spin-off of Grease, the musical.
Oh, damn. Fun fact. I was actually in a school parade where I played Danny Zuko.
What? Why would you play Danny Zuko?
That's not a joke. A lot of girls in my grade invited me to be on a float at my school, and I dressed up like Danny Zuko. The pictures exist somewhere on my Instagram account.
Did you at least get laid?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. I definitely also, I definitely look like Danny Zuko. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you do look like.
I didn't have my beard for that one.
I mean, the actor that played him used to be a Scientologist, and you have that in common with him.
Oh, so you must have met Tom Cruise at some point.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And you were also in a Tarantino movie, except you played Body Number 5.
Body number 6.
Oh, sorry.
We have to make sure that's correct.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll check the Wikipedia article about it.
Right. Yeah. It won't even be in the mentions.
Um. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Remember that you can check this podcast out on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Pocket Podcast, Breaker, and many freaking more. And if you're listening on Anchor, you can send us a voice memo.
And you could be featured in a future episode.
Yeah, as for me, you can find my YouTube and all my social media link in the description. I actually, by the time that this comes out, hopefully, I already posted a 2-part series on the shows I used to watch as a kid. So you can check that out. Yeah.
And nobody will watch it.
Like
except me.
Like most of the boss videos.
That's bullshit. If you know it.
So, yeah, I think that's it for today. Time to stop the recording.
So, yeah, if you guys want to find me anywhere on any of my socials, you can check out the boss official.
Dude.
Wait, what?
Let me start the recording again so you can say your stuff.
Oh, you did not get the recording.
I paused it when I stopped talking, when I said goodbye, but then I didn't think you would keep going.
What?
Yeah, I mean...
I get my plug, how dare you.
What if, like, because it's taking a while, what if you, like, send me an audio or, like, a video after it?
What?
Or I could just use, like, I could use, like, old footage, you know.
What?
Or just, like, wait a bit.
So anyway, we won't plug my stuff this week then. I'm not. Oh man.
Hold on. It says it's gonna take 10 hours. I don't know what's going on.
10 hours? Holy shit. Is the recording actually stuck?
Yeah!
Holy shit, dude.
I mean, you could just rehearse what you're gonna say, I guess.
Yeah, it's alright. It's all good. The people got their content. That's nice.
Well, you got pranked because it's actually still recording.
Oh my gosh! I got epically fooled. Whoa!
But now that we've wasted so much time, I think we should stop the recording because...
So, if you guys want to follow me on any social medias, follow me on thebossofficial@youtube.com. If you guys want to check out my Instagram, it's at RANBITTNER. And check out my podcast, the Bosscast Podcast, also on Anchor, Spotify, and various other streaming sites where you guys can follow my gaming and collaboratory episodes. I just recently recorded a collaborative podcast episode about the Resident Evil series, so check that out when it goes live.
What's a Resident Evil?
It's a video game series.
No, but
you are
what
dead
is
to me.
a resident? Who's evil?
So that's it for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening to this episode.
Shout out to my cousin.
Who's in jail.
Yeah.